It's good anti-propaganda. It goes on YouTube.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael Fielding with the Free Academy, and today I got burned by a ball of gasoline and oxygen, and it's kind of shook me up a little bit, so I've been drinking a little bit, but we're going to have a talk about, I have no idea what, kind of what we're doing in life, I guess, and like, it's kind of reset me and made me, remember how fragile my body is and how I need to be careful and not retarded sometimes. And, prioritizing what I'm going to do in life, I guess, or where I'm going from here at least. Life is a big thing, but the next month or two, I can think about that much. I'm here at the Jenner Ranch with Ryan and Russell. They're sitting outside. Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're coming from and what you're looking to do?
Awesome. Well, listen, I'll start off with I'm a freedom activist. My name's Ryan Champion. I've been following the freedom movement for about a year and a half now, and I was living in Lubbock. I got let go from a job, and I was looking for an opportunity. I was looking for something new, and I hit up Michael, and from there we went to Colorado on a van trip, and we got back to Houston, and I've been in Houston for about 2 months now, out here at the Jenner Ranch.
Right. And Russell, how did you get involved with the Jenner Ranch?
Hi, yeah, my name is Russell Maddox, and the way I got involved with Jenner Ranch was my brother-in-law Nick introduced me to some friends, and I was like, hey, these guys got some same ideas that I've kind of been a solo artist doing my own thing, and I'm an activist for free thinking and as well. I'm just not affiliated. I haven't been part of it until here, and so just been getting out here and getting it done because I see potential, I see the motivation, I see the way this place can be and where it's going to go, and I'm highly motivated and excited about it. So I mean, it's very enchanting to be in such a spot to help. It's very nice. It's great.
Hell yeah. And Andrew Bird, what have you been up to lately, and where do you think you're going?
Yeah, so I've been on one of these shows before, I think, but I've known Mike since high school, back when I was taller than him, way back when. And no, yeah, yeah, a long time ago. But no, the past couple of years now, I've been in New Orleans, working for Shell, working for a big oil company, and the past couple months, I've been thinking to myself, and Mike might remember this, but I told him, because we were roommates in college, and I got the job offer or whatever, and I took it, and he said, so you're selling your soul to corporate America, huh? I said, no, I'm leasing it for 10 years. And it may turn out that it's going to be... Yeah, it may turn out it's going to be even closer to just four years now. It's you mentioned motivation and how you feel like energized and ready to go out and do something. That's the opposite of how I feel going to work every day, right? And so that's why it's like, yeah, it's like, man, you can't do that forever, right? So that's I wanted to call just talk. I've listened to advice from Mike for a while now. I was calling and have a little conversation about what everybody's doing, getting themselves burnt up and everything.
Yeah, hell yeah. Man, I can tell you, I don't know what to tell you. My life has been this jumbled mess of hopping from one thing to the next and hoping I have enough money. And but the amazing thing is, like, these opportunities keep presenting themselves, and it's things you could never train for, you can never predict. There's no way in the universe you could study for some of the opportunities that I've found in my life, like this land that we're sitting on. The long story short of how I'm here right now is that I flew back from Puerto. God, there's no way to do it short.
Yeah, man, just
I flew back
get
from
to
Puerto
the
Rico.
new shit. No, it's okay. I'm just asking.
Tyler, what's your hair, man?
Michael, just get to the new shit, man.
I'm catching people up that haven't heard this yet. Real quick. I'll be real quick. So I pressure washed this lady's driveway. Her neighbor came over and asked if I could do her house next, and then she was this older, wealthy lady that had a bunch of chores to do, like cleaning out her garage and cleaning up her back porch. And over the course of doing all these chores, I became like her adopted grandson kind of thing, and we're good friends. And she inherited this property, and she needed kind of like a caretaker. She didn't know what to do with it, and I was like blown away by the opportunity. I was like, well, I begged her not to sell it so that I could like use it or like lease it from her. I asked her if I could lease it with a property tax. That way, for her, it'd be like no cost to hold on to it, and she thought the property value was going up anyways. So yeah, long story short, she agreed to give it to me for much less than that, and in return, I just have to like mow it and take care of it, and really, it's more of a friendship, family kind of adopted family situation, and yeah, but there's no way anyone could ever have done that on purpose from the beginning. Like it just wasn't even a possibility. Like, and it's opened my eyes to well, other things besides this have opened my eyes, but it's made me understand just how many opportunities are out there that, like, if you just are free and with your eyes open and willing to, like, do little things, just, like, talk to people and, like, be a decent person, like, you can, I don't know, like, karma, I guess, whatever. But it doesn't always work either. Sometimes you can try to do your shit and have your life fucked over.
Like, you should ask this guy why he doesn't own the land that he's occupying. Just like
why? Tell me why.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
I have a problem with legal land ownership to begin with because it's basically enforced via terrorism because they use police to evict people from places you might be occupying where no one's bothered, but you're breaking the law. And, whose law is that? It's not my law.
That sucks, and it's fucking stupid because if there is a property I know is not being used, why we cannot use the resources to make it better? It doesn't make any sense, and I agree with you.
That's what I say.
And we don't need fucking money. We should just use the resources and let the people be.
And claim
Nice
title
to
and
meet
Elodium. Yeah, this is Esther.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. What's your name?
Esther.
Esther? Yeah, good to meet you.
Spanish European.
Tyler, we just went around the circle and said what we've been up to and where we think we're going, kind of in the medium to short term or whatever.
Okay,
or like
so
what we're thinking.
I'll say it and then I'll dip out so that I'm not a bad house guest. Oh yeah. Okay, so like the question is, where have you been? Where are you going? Something like that.
This is my buddy Russell. He just moved from inside to outside.
I see.
He can train
RV, and then Russell and Ryan are okay. Gotcha. Well, I was just in Texas and in Colorado. I was on the Jenner Ranch. I was in between. I had just graduated from big boy school. And
big boy school.
My so-called contract
the PhD program be the big boy.
I sublet my room, went to Texas, started homesteading out on the Jenner Ranch and doing other various things, getting involved in the art community there in Houston. Jenner family, what's up? Yeah. And then I came back to San Francisco, and I'm still trying to take what I've learned from my nomadic times with Michael, dating all the way back to 2012, and continue to apply that to my life. So my situation right now is I'm sleeping on my couch at my place because there's somebody subleasing my room, and this is kind of strategic because it helps out her because she needs a room. I'm picking up at least a little bit of that rent, but the point is I get to lay my head somewhere for really, really cheap, and in the meantime I can just hustle in various ways until I hear back, hopefully on some sort of teaching position that would start up in the fall. But if that doesn't work out, then I'm just going to continue on with applying to PhD programs so that I can do the only motherfucking thing that I know how to do at this point, or at least the only thing that I care to do at this point, namely have a body of willing and able participants listen to me hear my own voice a couple hours.
Will you be here for treason in 25th weekend?
That what
But
we all
like
We need
really,
you to give us
but like
some
really, the
advice.
only thing that's happening right now is
wisdom.
I'm chilling with Esther in her apartment. She's making some tea. What made me think to get on this call, Michael, was because we were talking about Bitcoin, and she is a strong personality, and so
I was saying that I don't like money.
yeah, she was
What does
saying
that have to do with
that she doesn't
Bitcoin?
like money, and that she actually doesn't have faith in Bitcoin, which like
Oh.
ultimately it doesn't matter because like I said, it's just a gamble in fucking Las Vegas. I'm like willing to lose.
I don't have faith because I'm not willing to use it to buy drugs. If I would be using it to buy drugs, then I would have faith.
You haven't heard of the Silk Road?
If not, I
There's
would
like
use
10
Venmo.
more.
Just or PayPal. You know what I mean? It's like right now, in the moment that I'm living, or you give me practicality, that is Venmo is practical and is part of PayPal, and they are giving me a service, and I don't mind to hide, even share my information, or I am willing to use something like Bitcoin that during a specific moment made sense, but for me it doesn't make any sense because I'm not using it to buy drugs.
Yeah, like, and that's the most important point.
You know about
for like
you
something
can buy
against
drugs with Bitcoin.
Like you can buy guns for it. See, look, but I was trying to explain, and this
No, I
isn't
said
to
drugs.
debunk her point because I think that it's a really good point. From a practical point of view, it doesn't really do us anything because one, like not that many people are accepting Bitcoin these days, except for sort of black market needs, which could come in handy on the Jenner Ranch. But I was trying to say that maybe why we would care to have money in Bitcoin is to make like a political statement against like mainstream fiat currency, like the dollar bill, right? So with all said and done, like if there's anybody out there that's justifiably an outspoken vegan, let's say, well then maybe somebody could justifiably be a Bitcoin holder for various political, economical, ethical reasons, but yeah, maybe
you would need a lot of Bitcoin. You would need tons of Bitcoin to say, hey, this is the currency that I use, and this is what I'm using it for. You know what I mean? Like you can't stop it from happening. You would have to say this is generating revenue continuously, and it's not going to stop.
Right. I do think it's getting picked up by more and more businesses that are accepting it. Like Overstock.com is a very large corporation. You would need more than
just one power head. You would need like 5 power
Sure,
heads.
I just think it's happening.
Let's make it be better.
Yeah.
Make it be better. The idea. See, like I was under the impression the whole time.
How could we make it be better?
Well, I mean, I don't know because, like, clearly more and more people recognize. See, because my first instinct was to say get more and more people involved, but clearly that doesn't work in every case because take like the government as such, for example. Like the more and more people that pay attention to it, the more and more leveled down it gets, and like nothing happens because people sort of are just constantly being motivated to like divide themselves against other people. So maybe that's a bad analogy.
Let's say this. It all goes down back to we're exchanging some type of currency for service or product, right? Because we're all consumers pretty much. So the deal is that Bitcoin is just is in many ways just like the dollar. It's just a currency and it's false. And what we need really is just to go back to barter and trade, man. I mean, really,
yes, that
if you
is
want
what
to get
I was
down
saying.
to it.
Exactly, that's what I was talking about. So if you are willing to work in a property, you are good building food. I am good taking care of the animals. You are good cooking. So let's do the things that we know how to do and trade for the best service. And we could be like enjoying so much the good skills of each one of us without paying.
Like,
that's why I
my idea for the Jenner Ranch would be like just the barter and trade. Just like we all have skills that we can use and project into the market that shows that we are approved, for lack of a better word, to buy with whatever. Like we have a garden here, so we're growing vegetables or whatever, and we get an abundance of such that we can sell and market for paper dollar currency at first, and then procure things like somebody said guns or whatever you need. What do you really need to survive? You need food, water, shelter, and means for transportation, at least horses, whatever. But I mean,
alcohol.
Besides the point, we're not in the we're not
that.
right? So we get back into the shit that's going on in the world is going. It's already in motion. We got to go with it and slow it down a little bit, maybe.
I have a question.
Hey, if I could I want to bring it back to what, shit, I'm sorry, what's your name again, Tyler's friend? I fucked up.
Her name's
Anyways, Esther, I'm sorry. I've been drinking today.
Oh.
But, anyways, the first thing you said, or that Tyler said, was that you don't have faith in Bitcoin. And I don't have faith in it either, because to me, faith is like fiat currency. That's what fiat means, is faith-based. And I don't have faith in any currency. I think they're going to change a bunch of times through my life. I'm sure I can't predict 20, 40 years ahead of time. We're going to be using Ublex or something,
Exactly.
you know? Like, we don't
That's my point. It's like Bitcoin was
hop
the
from
beginning
one to
of
the other
something.
as they arise. And if we're early, that's the cool thing. If you're an early adopter of a future currency that's widespread, you can make a lot of money as it comes up, which is kind of the gamble I think Bitcoin is. You know, I don't think it's going to be in existence even in 20 years, but there's the chance for the next few years it becomes more and more popular, and like by holding it right now, I can profit from that short-term rise, even though it's probably in MySpace, and there's going to be a Facebook some other day that like knocks it off.
So that's why you just have to be okay with taking that risk, right? It's just like fucking going.
Everything is a gamble.
It's like it's like fun. It's like fun money.
Right.
That you see an opportunity, it rises right now. Yeah, like we clearly have this
So
like inability to like inductively nail down what's gonna happen like fucking tomorrow, right?
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Ability.
but how can you predict that's so unpredictable? That's currency.
Yeah,
I have
that's
a
like
It's
how
bad. It's a
claim to be
popularity
contest.
contest.
Like,
Yeah.
It's supposed to be some ideology, but
There it
that
is.
ideology rejects ideology. Yeah, it's weird.
So
Like a
we
lot
get
of
Nicki Minaj to like
conceptual-
Bitcoin and buy a bunch of Bitcoin, and then we're rich.
But she's Illuminati, dude.
Well, dude,
she's
that's what I'm like. I have already made money off of Bitcoin, so like as long as
Have
I
you
get
sold
out
it?
while I'm ahead, then we're fucking good.
That's what I'm saying, though. If you haven't
It's just
sold
a
it, you haven't
constant
made
hustle.
any money.
That's why.
And that was what we were all.
Same thing with the price of oil.
The remarks
Oh,
because
well.
it's like it's so.
That's why Shell got fucked anyway.
All right.
We're,
Look.
what we-
Anyways, dude,
Tell us,
like, I'm gonna
Bird,
sign
how did Shell get fucked?
Cause the price of oil, man, went down the shitter. That's something that's really hard to predict too. But I think it's more directly controlled by agents, governments who can control how much they produce. Oh,
Especially
Tyler left. See you,
How
Tyler.
does that, how does that relate, though, or like, how do you reconcile that with the like fair market hypothesis, which basically says like everyone's gonna try to make the best trade, and like it's hard to do tricks behind the scene, basically, because if you're, say, stockpiling oil to try to drive the price down, or wait, try to drive the price up.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, how would you say people are manipulating the market to drive the price down right now? Or
How
is
would
that
I-
the situation?
It's
How would I do-
overloaded right now.
Yeah, it's
That's
overloaded.
what's
We're flooded.
fun. Yeah.
But-
Dave, we're
Because
what they're
people started
doing-
producing more than they had been?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, no, not that we're producing more. It was just that we're buying from different, and that's what's causing the downfall in our economy right now. Is that we're not buying from what we're getting. We're not using what we have. We're buying from somebody else because it's available and it's easy. Right now
I
we're
think
we
the
pretty
U.S.
much
became a net
outpaid
exporter.
this-
Is
right.
that right?
Yeah. The U.S. is a net exporter of hydrocarbons, particularly natural gas. It
you
imports
import
oil.
oil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those in the Middle East, who it's very cheap to produce oil for, they stopped choking back, and so the overall
So
supply.
they had been sandbagging, and the price was too high, and now
Yeah,
it's more
Right.
realistic.
which was
My-
all
my-
because of a cartel, right? The same thing like with diamonds, how diamonds are artificially restricted by what the De
Gotcha.
Beers company, right? That owns all of them, and if they just let the production rates increase, then the value of the diamond would go down. But why would that company want to do that, right? Keep the value
Or,
sky high.
on the other hand, more than why they
Well,
don't want
that,
to
speaking on that,
market. They actually
I was gonna
want
say,
it to be a
speaking on
controlled
that,
market because they have
we have-
huge
we have-
incentive to use terrorism, essentially.
yeah, pretty much. That's what it comes down to.
Because I mean, that's how all the cartels are, subverting the free market. It's I call it terrorism, the use of fear in one way or the other, whether it's a law or just gang people killing or whatever. Like you're using fear to cut production earlier, right? Like that's the only way they could prevent people from selling all the oil they could at every moment.
It's extortion. That's what it is, extortion.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the fear tactic that they use because, you could take somebody and hold them at gunpoint and tell me to get your money out your ATM. It's another thing to go and take their child from them and say, this is $60,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
Think about it. Same principle, concept.
I have a question for Andrew, if I can take the floor. Andrew,
Yo.
I was wanting to do a Q&A with you. So
Okay.
you talked about doing this originally for 10 years, a 10-year lease on your life. And why are you thinking about doing 4? And what is the next step for you? Kind of like, could you
Yeah.
let us know?
So I guess whenever I think Mike knows this, but whenever I signed up for college, I signed up for electrical engineering as it happened, and then I saw the dollar signs of which engineering discipline gets paid the most, and it turned out it was petroleum. So I switched to that immediately, and then just went into that industry as soon as I graduated, purely for money, no interest in it whatsoever. And so, and now, and that's what I thought that was fine, and it was fine for a while. It's like go to work for your little 9, 10 hours a day, and then come back home. You've got 4 or 5 hours to chill, do your own thing, and then rinse and repeat. And that was fine for a couple years, but it got to the point. It's like, shit, man. Like, you can only waste your life doing something you're not entertained by or not learning through for so long because. Sure, I'm getting money stockpiled up, which is nice, but if you're spending 40 hours, 45 hours a week, like doing something you're not, like you said earlier, you're motivated to go out to the Jenner Ranch and build stuff and work on things and drive your passion, right? Whereas when I walk into the Shell office, I'm like, okay, well, how many more hours till I go home? Like the moment I sit down, it's like, all right, only 9 more hours.
Hey,
Which is no way to
let me
live,
stop
right?
you right there for a second.
Huh?
Let me stop you right there. Andrew, do you have any children? Do you have a wife or anybody?
Yeah, so that's a good question. No, I don't have any kids yet. I have a girlfriend as of nearly a year now. And so that's another thing that changes.
Damn.
Yeah. Well,
That's a good relation.
Here we go. Here's the deal. Is that you said you work 9 hours. Let's call it 9 hours, and
Yeah.
every day, and you get to do what the fuck you want to when you go home, right?
Yeah.
What happens when you have kids? What happens whenever you have 2 kids?
Yep.
And let's
Yep.
think about that for a second. Because I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
Now, I went to college for a little bit, and I was going to do metallurgy because I'm good at it. And I was like, the dollar sign, chase the dollar sign. Metallurgy inspectors, they make a lot of money, but you got to go to college for a long time. I needed to make money now because
Yeah.
I had 2 kids.
Uh,
So I went to college. I got into welding, and I got actually worked for a power plant at one point for quite a bit of money and doing shutdown work. And even then, it was not enough to support. And I was thinking about this because I have child support for one, and doing all I can for me and my wife now, and doing things. And I didn't like it. I changed job fields pretty violently. I would use a good word, violent. to do that, because I was like, this is not what I want. I'm traveling all the time, I'm going here and there, and my time is valuable.
Yeah.
My time is what makes me, and that's the currency that we're exchanging. No matter what it gets down to, la-di-da, Bitcoin, whatever, your time
Yeah.
is what's valuable. The more time you involve yourself in doing what you're doing to make money, or you can spend that time, which is valuable, with your family and doing the things that you really like. So like right now I work a 9 to 5, really, and I come home and at this point I'm going to the gin ranch today, Monday, but I can't spend all my time out here, because we have to go to work. I have to, because it's I want to say not what's programmed into me, but I know that I have to do it because my children would suffer if I did it.
Well, yeah,
And
that's right.
that's twofold, because I have the child support on one end that comes out of my check. So if I lost my job, then I would go to jail. And that's what the state of Texas says happens to you when that happens. And I can't do anything about that because I'm not state representative. And even the state representative couldn't do anything about that because they would have to go national. And, there's just a bunch of things that happens when you do that, when you go that route. And so I'm trying to in essence dual fold what I'm doing. So I work, I make money, I pay my bills, I pay my child support, I pay my insurance that the law says I'm supposed to have, and that's what it gets to, is because when does currency involve the law? When does that ground break? Do y'all know?
I don't know. I mean, those are a lot of thoughts right there. That's great, just insights into, like, the struggles of trying to be free while also having commitments. Like, I know our buddy Jared Reyes, I was hoping he'd be able to chat with us too, but he's having to spend money on his art. I don't know if I'm supposed to. Anyways, he has commitments that he's trying to uphold, and that's consuming time and money. And how do you do that while you still have these aspirations of making a difference in the world with your philosophy, for instance? It gets really hard. Like, yeah.
Think about it like climbing a mountain. So, like, what you got is you're at the base of the mountain. You know you got to climb it. You know you got to get up, but you don't know where the peak is, right? So we're going up this mountain, but now there's a ledge and you can't get over it. Type shit. The things that you got to go through to make ends meet. And I'm not dissing you, Andrew, on your petroleum thing, but like, what happens when there is no more energy? What happens when we can't produce gas anymore? When we can't produce petroleum anymore? What happens when we run it dry? And yeah, there might be a good supply of it, but eventually that's going to go out, and it takes a long time, if I'm not mistaken, to the earth to create petroleum.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
and we're digging it from the ground.
Yeah.
We're taking the vital essence of nature, and we're using it for fuel. But the lights are gonna go out, and it turns back to Bitcoin. It's like you put your money in the Bitcoin, and something happens, catastrophic, and
if the computers are out, then it doesn't matter. Hey, Willow.
Yeah.
What you were saying, though, Russell, reminded me of, like, what is really important, and it's actually right above Ryan's head, or just to the top right. It's that water barrel up there. And right now we're using the electric grid to power our compressor to get the water out of the ground. But we could have solar panels to power that pretty easily. And if we have water, everything else is easy, basically. You can grow food, you can scavenge food. Like, that's no big deal. You just need clean water. And that's the answer. Sorry to take. You can give your answer too, Bird. But what's going to happen when the oil runs out? It's like we're going to have to be more efficient, and we're going to have to learn to get water more efficiently because that's the whole. And
we need to
right now, plastics and like dresses and whatever.
Clothes that I wear.
Yeah, all this stuff that we don't need. But
Yeah, that's
as
another.
long as we can pump water, we can survive on Earth. Like that's the hard part.
Yeah, that's another reason I think why like I don't have any real passion around this industry. Is it's not
Trees.
particularly, it's not forward thinking and it's exhaustible, right? Like we need to get better at making batteries and harness the
Yeah,
free
that's
energy that the sun is raining down on us all the time, right?
yeah, totally. I have a
Yeah.
hybrid now. Did I tell you I got a car?
No. When'd you get a
I
car?
bought a car, 2003 Honda Civic Hybrid with 40 ounces of silver from Jacqueline.
No
That's
way. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So double whammy, free market transaction, and he gets 42 miles to the gallon. I'm blown away. Like I feel so lucky to have this thing.
Oh
And when
yeah.
it dies, I'm gonna strip the battery pack out of there and reuse that for like a little hut.
Yeah. Dude, hell yeah.
Um,
How's the Mustang
so
treating you?
we were going to call.
Too expensive.
Hello. Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
we were just doing this call for a little bit. It's getting dark out here. Andrew, it's good to meet you. I hope you come out to the party.
Yeah.
And on the topic of free market, we're actually cutting down birch trees that got taken away in the flood that we had out here on the land. So now we have $3,000 worth of birch wood. So
Nice.
we're gonna go
Yeah. Thanks.
these trees.
We're gonna go harvest birch.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Thanks for closing us out, Ryan. I think that was good timing. And I'm gonna just close the broadcast, but I'll stay on with you, Andrew. All right. Bye, everybody who's watching. See ya.